What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy, Lavon Kaysen. I'm back giving a review, and here's another review from the NX. So apparently, it's supposed to be between the Xbox One and PS4, basically in between, basically more towards Xbox One level instead of PS4 level. Now, take this with a grain of salt. I got this from PlayerEssence.com, not PlayerEssence.com, but from Player Essence, from his video cast or whatever he's doing. So yeah, watch the video and I will get back to you with my thoughts.
That I was gonna say oh yeah, this is what I heard at E3, without anything else that maybe I'm hearing if somebody else heard the same thing or anything like that. And I just didn't feel comfortable just saying, oh yeah, this is this, just putting that out there. But I did hear basically some other news that kind of confirmed what I heard. But this is still rumor. This is not 100%. Nintendo could change things. It is what it is. It can still change, guys. It can still change. But this is from a YouTuber who is pretty freaking credible as far as what he does. He doesn't do clickbait videos and all that stuff like that. He's actually just a guy that plays video games. And, I'll just say that he has well over 300,000 subscribers. And he was, he has some contacts in the industry. So this is just kind of passing along some information that he heard. So let's get to that. And I'm not going to say anything as far as who this YouTuber is or who sent me this information, because I don't want anybody harassing them. Like a lot of people harass Tamaki from Unseen 64 for what he said, and I don't want that to happen with this guy. So, but anyway, this information comes from basically it's also from tech companies too that might be dealing with some of this stuff that's going on. So here's the number one thing. The specs are somewhere between, so this is for the Nintendo NX. The specs are somewhere between the PS4 and Xbox One, but leaning more towards the Xbox One specs. Okay, so a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, it's not going to compete on the PS4 level, so it's not going to get third-party support. A lot of people think that when they mean by compete on the PS4 level, that's what Tamaki said from Unseen 64. Really, what that means is that it's just not going to be as spec'd as powerfully as the PS4, but that doesn't mean it doesn't compete. In my opinion, I don't know if that was a poor choice in words, because the Xbox One competes with the PS4 on a spec level, but it's just not as good. And from what I'm hearing, the NX definitely is competing on a spec level. I mean, it's in between the PS4 and Xbox One, but it's more closer towards the Xbox One. So I think maybe Tamaki was being completely precise, but just by saying, well, it's not in the PS4 spec level, but he didn't say anything about the Xbox One. And that's what some people are freaking out about. They think it's going to be weaker than the Xbox, a lot weaker. They think it's going to be like another Wii U, to where it's just like weaker, which the Wii U isn't even much weaker than the PS4 and Xbox One, in my opinion. It's weaker for sure, but the gap isn't as big as, like, let's say the PS3 to Wii. It's not that type of gap. There's definitely a bit of a gap, but it's not as big. So if Nintendo's making a system that's definitely Xbox One spec'd, or a little bit better, then there's nothing wrong with that. And it's probably going to be much cheaper. So here's the second thing that I learned. It will be 1080p. So Nintendo's games are going to be, pretty much everything 1080p, which is to be expected. I would hope that would be the case. Although the Xbox One, all those games are not 1080p. And Nintendo's games for the most part are all 720p. Nintendo has a few games that are 1080p. They have Wind Waker. They have at least retail titles. They have Wind Waker. They have Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. And they might have another one, but most of their games are 720p. And upscaled to 1080p. So what I heard is also going to be 1080p. The next thing that I heard is it will have some sort of connectivity between console and a handheld, which I think is a given. I think that's a given. There's definitely going to be some interactivity. I mean, I think if you could be able to download 3DS games digitally. Or if you have the 3DS game, you get the digital version for free somehow. You register it on Nintendo's new service, and you get that on the NX for free. That would be huge. That would be like huge. It's like, okay, well, yeah, the system launches. Oh, you can play Bravely Second. You can play Bravely Default. You can play Fire Emblem Fates. You can play all these great 3DS RPGs from the get-go on the big screen. That would be huge. Oh my goodness, that would be so good. And what if you can be able to transfer data back and forth? That would even be better. Number 4, and this is probably a big one. It will likely have a normal controller. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a Wii U Pro controller, rebranded. I think it's going to have analog. It's just going to be more like a standard controller, like Xbox 360 or PS4. I think they're going to take the safe route and kind of innovate within like the connectivity between handheld and console. So, yeah. Here's some more information. Apparently, some people at E3 implied that there will be a handheld device designed alongside the NX from scratch specifically for connectivity with the NX. The handheld device is also implied to be an optional thing you can buy separately if you want to. So this is something that I've been saying, and this actually harkens back to Shokio's initial rumor with this whole thing, which is the fusion, which is the initial where this whole thing started from, And in that rumor that Shokio had, that's on Gaming Realm. Check it out. You can still check it out. It's probably one of their most viewed. it's probably their most viewed post of all time. There was 2 consoles. Now Shokio had specs on there too. I don't know how well those specs were going to be. And I actually did a podcast with Shadow Fox Infinite on those specs. He said it's crazy overkill. He said those systems are really powerful. But that's another discussion for another day, I guess, or a discussion that we've already had. You can check it out on my channel if you want to. But anyway, he said that harkens back to where there's going to be a console and there's going to be a handheld, and they're going to have interconnectivity as far as the games go. And there's going to be 2 separate things, and the NX just might be that, or one of them might come out first, and then the handheld might come out later, and then you can buy them in a bundle, or you can buy them separately for a little bit more. Maybe if you buy them in a bundle, it's a little bit cheaper. If you buy them separately, it's a little bit more expensive. And maybe that will entice people. Maybe a bundle for, I don't know, like $350 for both of them. Maybe $400 for both of them, so $200 pop. Maybe $250 for one of them, $199. I don't know, by itself, or for the portable. So that'll be interesting. I think that'll be good. I think Nintendo definitely needs as many games as possible, on their system. The next thing, and that last one apparently came from a Nintendo guy. I mean, at E3. So, but still rumor. Let's see. Next one here. Apparently, this person where I got this information said that they can confirm that Nintendo spoke to third-party developers at E3, which is true. Nintendo confirmed that. That was actually one of the last things that Satoru Iwata said, is that they confirmed that they were speaking to many developers. They said they've had many inquiries at E3 about partnerships. So yeah. I think that's it. I obviously I don't want to say any more and I'm not going to tell you guys who said this, because he specifically asked to not be named, and I don't want to tell you the YouTube.
So after I just watched that part, the NX, this is just rumors, so it's kind of gonna have a regular controller. It's gonna have, but power wise is gonna be Xbox One level instead of PS4 level. So that's what it's basically going to be. Now this is all rumor, guys, and apparently it's supposed to be have a like a fusion, like a handheld gamepad type thing, where you a handheld gamepad type thing, where you can buy it separately, or there would be a bundle that would cost maybe $350 or something like that. So yeah. So the NX, this is just rumors. So I hope it's a little bit more powerful. And also they've been talking to more third parties, which is good, which they have confirmed that. So yeah, what do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments below. What you think that the NX? What you think of the NX? See you guys later. Peace, rate, comment, and subscribe.